Donald Trump has been at war with American media for years. He loves to hate the fake news mainstream media, doesn't he? As well as trashing them daily. Spoiler, he watches them incessantly, I think, and he certainly needs them. But he still trashes them every day, and he sues them successfully. ABC and CBS know all about that.
Yeah, he is the litigious president, and legal action now on the horizon against the Beeb. He's issued an ultimatum. We've got the letter, Mark, from his lawyers. Brito PLLC of Coral Gables, Florida, no less than 4 pages.
Yeah, and it doesn't pull the punches. It details how a BBC Panorama report aired just before the election last year spliced together 3 separate parts of a Trump speech, creating one sentence which he didn't say. The speech was the one that he gave just before the storming of the Capitol building here in DC on January the 6th, 2021.
Yeah, let's give you a flavour of the lawyer's letter. It says, due to their salacious nature, the fabricated statements that were aired by the BBC have been widely disseminated throughout various digital mediums, which have reached tens of millions of people worldwide. Consequently, the BBC has caused President Trump to suffer overwhelming financial and reputational harm.
Yeah, and it goes on to say the BBC's reckless disregard for the truth underscores the actual malice behind the decision to publish the wrongful content, given the plain falsity of the statements. And then come the demands to the BBC. President Trump, it says, hereby demands that you, the BBC, number 1, immediately issue a full and fair retraction of the documentary and any and other false, defamatory, disparaging, misleading and inflammatory statements about President Trump in a conspicuous manner as they were originally published. Number 2, it says the BBC should immediately issue an apology for the false, defamatory, disparaging, misleading and inflammatory statements about President Trump. And number 3, James, appropriately compensate President Trump for the harm caused.
Yeah, and then the kicker, the moment when Donald Trump will come knocking on the BBC's door in the last paragraph. If the BBC doesn't comply with the above by November the 14th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, President Trump will be left with no alternative but to enforce his legal and equitable rights, all of which are expressly reserved and are not waived, including by filing legal action for no less than $1 billion in damages. And in the very dark last sentence, the BBC is on notice.
Yeah, quite the letter, 4 pages. We know that it landed a little while ago on the desk of the BBC's chief legal counsellor.